This is your one and only FireSpark81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome back to another informational Valheim video. Today I'm going to show you how to easily defeat the last boss. Let's get to it. So y'all have been asking me and asking me again in the comment section to hurry up on this guide for the final boss and show you how to break it. So finally, today that's what we're doing, but we're going to start off with preparations first because prepping for this guy is very important. Let's start off by talking about armor. So you're going to be messing around in the plains biome. And if you thought the swamp was bad, wait until you go to the plains biome and you get one shot by a mosquito. Armor is going to be important for you. You wear whatever armor you feel comfortable with and whatever fits your playstyle. For me in that biome, I am just fine with my current playstyle in the troll hide maxed out. This is not the max, by the way. This is admin, so don't look at the armor that I'm wearing now. Just listen to what I'm telling you. The current highest level 4 troll is level 3. I'm fine with that, but depending on your playstyle, you may need something that gives you higher armor, gives you more protection. So for example, something like the Drake helmet and the wolf armor set. So we have the wolf cape, the wolf legs, and the wolf chest. Now you want to obviously get these as high a level as you can get them. So let's take a look at what the armor looks like for those. So all of these at level 2 is going to give you 68 armor. That's not bad for when you're first going into the plains biome and messing around in it. You're going to need to be in there a little bit in order to get the stuff for the padded set and the linen cape, because you're going to need the flax, and the only way to get that is being in the plains biome. So if you're not trying to rush through this boss and you have the time to grow the crop that you need and process the flax in order to get the linen, and you upgrade this and you take the time to get this armor, you're going to be looking at something like 86 armor. This is going to be a little more ideal, although you are not going to get hit by this boss if you do the method that I'm showing you. And if you do get hit by him, your armor's not going to do you a whole lot of good because it's going to be elemental damage. So it's going to burn you through your armor. But yeah, there's other things in the plains biome like the goblins and the death skeetos is the reason you want the good armor. So depending on how you fare in that biome and what your current playstyle is, take that into consideration when you're prepping armor wise to go over there and fight this guy. You don't want to be in the middle of fighting him and have a death skeeto come up behind you and one-shot you. That's not fun for anybody. Let's talk about weapons now. So the guy is undead, so he is affected by silver. So if you're going to face tank him, you want something like Frostner or the silver sword. We can use the bow. I'm going to show you what kind of damage a bow does with the silver arrows, but I don't recommend it because killing him with the bow is extremely slow. It's doable, but you're going to need a ton of arrows in a lot of time. Frostner or the silver sword do a decent amount of damage. For our soloing easy mode method, we're going to use the iron sledge, and most importantly, you are going to need the harpoon for the method that I'm showing you. If you don't know how to get the harpoon, you need to find the Kraken. The Kraken has barnacles on the back of him. You hit those barnacles and you get chitin. You get enough of it and that will get you what you need to craft the harpoon. Okay, let's talk about food. So there's a few different options for food here. If you want a decent balance of stamina and HP and you don't want to take the time to farm locks and hunt serpents, then fish wraps, the turnip soup, or turnip stew, and bread is a really good option. That's going to give you a decent amount of HP as well as stamina. So you can see here, this is what that combo looks like. I have 175 health, and you can see my stamina bar down there at the bottom, and there it is, fully recharged. So nice HP, nice stamina there with that setup. But that's not your only option. There's a few other good options. If you want to go stamina heavy, fish wraps, the carrot soup, and bread, that's going to give you more stamina. And that setup is going to look something like this. You can see my stamina bar down there at the bottom is absolutely massive, and we have a decent amount of HP, but this is focused way more on stamina. So if you're a real heavy stamina user, this is probably a good setup for you. Last but not least, we have the top of the line food, and that's fish wraps, serpent stew, and ⴏᴏ. That's your overall stamina setup, top of the like end game stamina setup. That's going to get you a ton of stamina and good HP. If you want to go a little more HP heavy, then you want to use the blood pudding instead of the fish wraps. So you just swap those out. So let's first take a look at the fish wraps, the serpent stew, and the lox meat pie combo. So here we go. You can see we got 240, well, it was 45, now it's 44 HP. And look at that stamina bar. Absolutely insane. This is your best in case, or best situation, best in class. That's the word I'm looking for. Best in class setup right here. Going to give you really well-rounded stats. Okay, so now let's take a look at the blood pudding, serpent stew, and lox meat pie setup. So here's that setup. You can see 275 health, and our stamina bar is nice as well. It's not quite as big, but there's still a lot of stamina to work with there. This is, like I said, this is going to be your, I'm not very good at blocking attacks or getting out of attacks, and I take a lot of damage. I'm going to face tank this guy setup. Best in class setup for that. Moving right along, let's talk about mead. So I highly advise bringing some stamina mead, bring some tasty mead, or some medium stamina mead. The only thing I don't like about the medium stuff is that it has a cooldown. So like if we use it right now, you can see we have 2 minutes before we can use another one. I like tasty mead a lot more because you can chug it. You get 10 seconds of quick stamina regen. So your stamina regen's really fast, especially if you have the rested buff. And then when it's over, you can legit just chug another one. So I prefer the tasty mead, but up to you. And then most definitely some healing mead just in case it hits the fan, because it might over there. You never know when you're going to be doing stuff. And even though I can show you how to completely break the boss, you never know when a death skeeto is going to show up and you're going to be caught off guard because you're focused on the boss, or a goblin is going to show up and you're going to be caught off guard because you're focused on the boss. So bring some healing mead and some type of stamina mead, whichever you prefer. This guy does a ton of fire damage as well, so it's probably a good idea to make some fire-resistant barley wine. This is the recipe for it. You can see right here, you need 10 barley and 10 cloudberries to make that, and you just make it the same way you make mead. So yeah, probably a good idea to bring some of that as well, especially if you're going to try and face tank him. Last but not least, we have the summoning item, and I'm going to show you where to get these, but they're the falling totems, they're the goblin totems, and I will show you where to get those. You are going to need 5 of them every time you want to summon him. And now for his power. Once you defeat him and you hang his head, the power that he gives you is resistance to elemental effects. So resistance to fire, poison, frost, all of that stuff. Now that we've talked about prep, let's talk about how to get a hold of the totems and how to unlock his location, or where you can find the stone to unlock the summoning altar for Yaga, whatever this dude's name is. So I'm in ghost mode right now, so if you're wondering why they're not attacking me, they don't see me. So I can show you what you're after here. So you're gonna find these camps over in the plains. There's all kinds of different ones, and there's even like some stone buildings, and I have seen the totems in one of the stone buildings. I don't know if they show up in all of them, but they definitely frequently show up in these camps that you see, like you see here. And there's a bunch of different versions of these that can spawn around, and what you are after is this little totem right here. You can see it says falling totem, and you just hit E, that'll fall off, and then you can pick it up. But obviously you are going to have to fight all of these guys in order to get that thing, or run in and grab it real quick and run out and hopefully not die, whichever you prefer. But I will have a video at some point later showing you tactics for getting into these camps and farming these guys. Right now, I'm just showing you where this thing is because I haven't perfected that tactic yet. So there's no point in me showing it to you. But this is the totem that you're after. To find the location of the altar, or have it show you the location of the altar, you're looking for one of these Stonehenge looking areas. Now, I'm not sure if it shows up in other places, but this is where I found mine, was right here. So you can see what it looks like. So yeah, this is where I found mine, and if we go up here and we activate it, you can see it shows you ягluth's location. And this is what his altar looks like. It's like some giant fingers coming up out of the ground around the thing, and then you come up here And it's got this one, which pops up, tells you some stuff, and there you go. And then what you want to do is you need to have the little totems in your inventory, and then you look at each of these offering bowls and then lag while you're saving, and then you put them in there like that. And then once you are ready to summon him, you just hit E. So it's similar to summoning the dragon boss. Okay, so there's a few things to keep in mind before you start fighting him. One, make sure you have the maxed out rest buff. Well, the highest that you can get at this stage should be 17, unless you were doing some cheaty admin stuff, and then it can be much higher. But if you're playing legit, it should be 17. It should get you a nice long rested buff. Make sure you have that and it's ready to go. The other thing I recommend doing is near the area, not like too close, but near the area. So like since our altar's there, I would come over here somewhere, like around here, and make sure you have a little forward operating base with a portal set up in it back to your base so you can run back quickly for repairs, because you're probably going to need repairs. Also, you want to run around the area and make sure that you've killed anything and everything in the vicinity, just in case you need to move around. So we're just going to kind of look around this area here and make sure that anything in the area that could eventually, like here, look, see, we got a mosquito there. We're going to take that dude and get rid of him, and then we're just going to continue around the area here and just double check and make sure that there's no more mosquitoes or none of the little goblins. See, look, we got mosquitoes everywhere around here. So you definitely want to make sure you get rid of these guys, because you don't want them to come up behind you while you're trying to fight the boss. Okay, so let's talk about how to face tank him first, and then I'm going to show you how to break him. So I'm going to be in God mode for face tanking him. You'll be able to see if I get hit because the red numbers will pop up regardless. I still have to spend stamina. I just don't want to deal with if I die and then I have to come back and it's just a pain in the butt for the video. And I don't really care for face tanking him. I have nothing to prove. When I go to fight him, I'm going to break him. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're just going to activate him here and then get ready. Now, he has a few attacks, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to make sure that he does the attacks so that you can see what each of them are. I highly recommend using an upgraded Frostner because it's just good for him, and you'll see why with its damage. Actually, let's quickly upgrade the Silver Sword. I'm in debug mode if you're wondering how I'm doing this. So now the Silver Sword is upgraded as well. So they're both level 2 as you see there. So we'll do the Silver Sword. So he has a few attacks. He has this one. So you need to run past it. It will tear through these. These can be broken and he'll just shoot right through it. So he has that breath attack. And then he has the meteor attack, which I think is, yeah, see the meteors falling down behind me? And then he has that attack there. So now he's going to do that, and he can't destroy this. So if you're in a situation like we are here and you can get on the other side of this when he does that attack, it's easy to get out of the way of that one. But let me see if I can get him to do the meteors again, because you didn't get a good look at that. I want to make sure you see it. So yeah, there it goes. And if they hit you, look at the damage that they're doing. They hurt. They hurt really bad. So you do not want to get hit by the meteors. And it's pretty easy to not get hit by him. When you see him raise his arm like that and hold it up for a while, don't stop moving and you won't get hit by them. Same with when he does the breath, you want to make sure that you move as well. So now I think he's getting ready to do the meteors. So I'm just going to take off sprinting. And as long as you keep moving, he won't hit you with them. Same thing when he does the breath. Just, well, I ran bad there and got hit, and you can see I'm burning for it. So this is where it's bad news bears. And then he has that one when he does the slam. You know he's going to do the slam because his hand will light up. When his hand doesn't light up, then you know it's going to be the meteors. So the only way to really face tank this guy is to get in close to him when he stops attacking, and it's very difficult to solo. Much easier to do if you have multiple people. And you can see he spawned in some ads here that we also have to deal with because they were not there before we had them cleared out. Now, if you're in a situation where you need a minute, you can get away from this guy relatively easily. So just put your weapons away so that you have as much run speed as you can get, and then you can just kind of get away from him and he will lose interest in you. He moves really slow, so it's relatively easy to put distance between you and him and regen stamina, or drink a health pot and let your health regen, or whatever you need to do. And if you're wondering if you can block his attacks, let's take a look at that. So his flame attack is going to chew through your stamina. He's getting ready to do the meteors. So there you go. We got hit and we're still on fire because when the meteor hits, it has an AoE splash damage, which lights you on fire. And there's the breath. You can see there goes all of my stamina. So if you are blocking it, you're only blocking it for a hot second and then you're rolling out of the way behind something or something like that. Phase tanking him is extremely difficult because he keeps attacking and it's hard to, you can't stop moving when he's attacking. So like right now we run in, oh well, look, we're getting hit. Okay, there we go. We got a few hits. He's getting ready to smash down and we're on fire. Yeah, it's terrible. Trying to fight him and phase tank him without a buddy with you is extremely difficult. If you have a buddy, it's much easier because your buddy can get aggro, and while your buddy has aggro, then you can get in behind him and attack him, because the only way, or the only time he attacks from behind is his AoE hand slam. When he's doing the meteors, they're going to target a person, and when he does the breath, he's going to target a person. So you can get behind him right now. That right there, that's the only time, and you can see it has an on-ground effect there that lights you on fire. Now let's reset all of this, and I'm going to show you how to just completely shut him down. Okay, so to do this, it's really easy. Before you fight him, you're gonna grab your pickaxe and you're gonna find a nice little spot away from his altar a little bit. So just somewhere, let's see, what's a good spot? Right over here, I think, is a good spot, decent spot. So we're just gonna go over here, nice little area, and you want to make sure you have a nice path from his altar to the spot that you choose. So right here looks pretty good, and now what you're gonna do is you're just gonna dig straight down, and you're gonna keep digging really, really far. Get nice and deep because he's much bigger than he looks. Now we're gonna jump out. We're gonna go right over just like this. And that should be the right spot. We basically want to, nope, let's back up just a little bit. So right here, just like this. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to dig straight down. I've dug down nice and deep here. Now, we want this area here isn't quite as deep as I would like it, because if we take a look here, it kind of slopes just a little bit. So I'm actually going to grab my hoe and we're going to just bring that up ever so slightly here. And we should be able to actually just do this and level it. Yeah, something like this, just to bring it up just a little bit. And if you have to, just bring the ground up a little bit like that. Try to get it somewhat level. And make sure, because we're going to get him stuck in it. So we need to make sure that he can't get back out. Now this should be fine. He shouldn't be able to get out of this. Now let me give you some type of visualization of how deep it is. If we grab a wall here, so there we're at the bottom and we stack that one. I'm just going to fly up here real quick. So there you go. So we're about 4 walls down. And that's about how deep you want to go. Now, to get out of here, it's really easy. If you don't know, you can climb pretty much any vertical surface if you have the stamina. So just make sure your stamina is nice and full. Run forward, hold shift, and just keep spamming jump, and you're just going to pop out of it like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do, once again, make sure you have the rested buff, make sure you have all of your food, everything, and you're ready to go, because even though we're going to trap him in this hole, he can still, ads can still show up. Then you're going to make sure you have your harpoon. You're going to arm that bad boy and make sure that it is ready to go. You're going to put your totems on him, or on his altar, and we're going to spawn him. So as soon as you summon him, you need to pay attention to where he's summoning at. So you can see here, he's summoning over here. Now, I have God mode off, I have ghost mode off. So we need to, okay, he's actually summoning in the altar, which is kind of good for us. So what we're going to do, we're going to patiently wait. We're going to harpoon him really quickly. Before he's even out of the ground, you want to harpoon him, and then you're going to start pulling him. As long as he is faced like that, you should be fine. And then you're just going to keep yanking him towards that hole. And I don't think we got him in it, so I'm actually going to fall down here. and dodge him. Is he in it? I can't tell if he's in it. Okay, let's run back up here and see. Okay, yeah, he's in it now. Okay, we're good. So that was it. That's how easy it was to get him in there. And now we're gonna run because he summoned the meteors. He can still use all of his abilities, but I'm going to show you how to bypass that. So the easiest way to do this is you need the iron sledge. Make sure you have an iron sledge, and then what you're going to do is he sees us, so we're going to come over this way and run from that. We need to get behind him. So if we get it far enough from him, we can actually get in behind him and he won't turn around. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put the sledge away and we're going to stay at a distance from him. Now, you can shoot him from here if you want to shoot him. So if we do the bow, and you can see he's burning right now, we can just shoot him from here. Now, if you do this, this will work. He won't do anything. He's shut down right now. So if you're this far from him, he just shuts down completely. But this is so slow and so bad and so boring and just, it's so slow. I mean, either way, it's going to be kind of boring, but that is just so slow. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the iron sledge and we're going to come around behind him, and he won't attack if you're behind him. So then what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of ease in here. And he turned around, which is what we don't want. So if he turns around, just kind of reset. We should be able to get close enough to him to damage him without him turning around. But it's just getting in the right situation here. Okay, so you don't want him facing you. If he faces you, then he can hit you. Okay, there we go. We got it. So now we're hitting him, and he's not able to do anything. Now, if you have him on a flat surface, when I was testing this, I was able to stand behind him on a flat surface at a little bit more of a distance to where I was just barely clipping him. But it looks like if you're in a situation where, like we are now, where you can get just below him a little bit, it is actually possible to hit him. Oh, now we stopped hitting him. Let's see here. Can we hit him again? There we go. There we go. We're hitting him now. So then you can just do this and continue to smash away. And that's it. Once you have him locked like this, it should be easily repeatable. You can also use Frostner to do this fight if you don't want to use the sledge method. So for Frostner, what you do is you wait until he's turned around like that. You come up behind him, hit him a couple of times. Oh, it looks like he's stuck. He should turn around at some point, or maybe not. If this happens, you're golden, but let me show you what can also happen. Let's see if we can get him unstuck. Okay, so if he turns around and he does that, you need to run because he's doing the meteors. But it is possible to run up, hit him a couple of times, and then run off when he does that AoE there. And then that's basically what you do to you just keep tagging him with Frostner. So you run in, you hit him. When he goes to do one of his attacks, you run away. And then you just rinse and repeat that. But it looks like I may have actually got him stuck if I just run in behind him here and just start laying into him. So here we go. And then this is where you would drink one of your staminas so that it regens fast. Now, like I said, he'll also get stuck like this with the hammer, and you can, kind of keep your distance from him a little bit and smash him. Usually for me, he was turning around before, but obviously it's possible with this setup, as you see here, to just completely shut him down like he is now. But I'm guessing this is a situation where it depends on the terrain, because this isn't the same place I made the hole the last time. Last time it was a little further over there, but it looks like he's super stuck now, and we can just get behind him and wail on him and bring him down super fast. But I think I've covered everything to give you like all of the basis on like what to be careful for and the different ways you can go about attacking him. You can see a level 2 Frostner just absolutely rips through him super fast because we're burning him for all of that. And my skill in, what's my clubs? Clubs is 65. Okay, I just reset my skill for clubs to 40 because I want you to see what that looks like. So here we go. We're still hitting him for 50, 82, 49. So if your clubs are at 40, you can still tear through him relatively quickly. Okay, he's about to... Yep, that's not good. Yeah, you can see we're on fire there. We're going to actually get in that water real quick. That's going to save us. Yeah, that fire burns for a lot. If you don't have water nearby that you can get into or something like that, it's going to hurt you pretty bad. That's another reason I recommend having, one of the many reasons you should have a portal nearby, even so that if he does kill you, you spawn back at your base, you can get back here and get your stuff relatively fast and get back on him just in case he kills you again while you still have that drain buff. And there you go. That's pretty much all there is to it. Okay, I think that pretty much covers everything. If you have any questions or anything, let me know down in the comment section. All right, if you found this video helpful and informational, consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload other Valheim videos. And I don't just cover Valheim, I cover all kinds of different games. It just so happens that Valheim is the feature game on the channel right now, so you never know when I'm going to be making guides for a game that you may be playing. All right, that is going to wrap it up for this episode. If you like what you saw, consider hitting that sub button. I want to give a big thank you to my patrons for making this episode possible. Y'all are absolutely amazing people. If you'd like to join my League for Patreon supporters, please check out the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and show your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.